So everything you are going to be hearing and seeing today is based off the second dev server in War Thunder, and most of this content is to be taken with a grain of salt because much of it is subject to change and is not finalized, especially in this video. And so with that being said, we're going to be talking about the Leopard 2PL in today's video. And with that, let's get started. So, with the next major update just around the corner, there's been a flurry of information, data mines, dev vlogs, and even some small little leaks from Gaijin themselves, kind of showcasing the hype that is this upcoming patch. And one of the vehicles I am personally looking forward to is the Leopard 2PL. Now, understand that, well, from what I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is a lot of this information is very much subject to change. There's a lot of missing things, and there's stuff that I'm going to talk about that may possibly change in the coming weeks. And so I ask everyone to please keep an open mind. Again, things may change, things may not. I know a lot of creators such as myself and others who are covering the dev server may be subject to scrutiny, okay? But again, guys, we only know as much as we are given from to and from the public, if that makes sense. So with all of that being said, the Leopard 2PL is going to be one of those vehicles that is fairly unique in the sense that it's not really a tech tree vehicle while also being a part of it. What I mean by that is this vehicle will cost 520,000 squadron points. Now, if you're in a very active squadron, that will be 20,000 points every 3 days, meaning I think it's up to 78 total days of just squadron activity to naturally unlock this vehicle and use Silver Lions to purchase it, which will cost, I think, about 1.2 million Silver Lions or 1.02. I honestly do forget. Or you can opt in to do the far easier one, but a little bit more expensive, and that is using 7,800 Golden Eagles, which will set you back about 44 to 45 USD or Gaijin coin. Or you can just spend 50 Gaijin coin, get the 10,000, and have a little bit left over to either throw into the modules or perhaps even use a talisman on this vehicle, which is not something I would recommend quite yet, but the decision or the choice is there. So let's take a look at what really makes the Leopard 2PL very unique. Now, taking a look at the actual vehicle itself, again, this is nothing more than a souped up Leopard 2A4. Now, thankfully, that doesn't really change too much when it comes to the efficiency of this vehicle itself. It does get DM33, or excuse me, it will be getting DM33 as stated by the actual dev blog of this vehicle, meaning that it is going to be a very capable vehicle at its respective battle rating. But in my honest opinion, and this is where we're going to go ahead and dive into the realm of speculation, I don't necessarily see this vehicle being a super reliable one at battle rating 10.7. Now, the reason why I say it like that is because, yes, this is pretty much a Leopard 2A5 for the most part, but it has less armor in the upper front plate, and it has a much bigger breach, which is mostly just cast structural steel and high hardness rolled armor. I didn't mean to say cast, excuse me, structural steel to some extent. And it does protect up to about 1,000 millimeters of kinetic penetration in the turret area. But when you have this gigantic breach of an area that is very susceptible to, well, pretty much everything that comes at it, it kind of puts this vehicle in a very tricky position. So in my honest opinion, I can really see this thing being at battle rating 10.3 while still being fairly balanced and not overpowered against other vehicles at that exact battle rating, meaning that it's easy to kill this thing, but it'll be a forgiving vehicle to play, as this is a Leopard 2, and they're usually very simple to play, thankfully. Okay, so maybe saying they're very simple to play is the wrong way to go about it. Instead, I want to rephrase it to be more or less vehicles that are very forgiving at the higher tiers, meaning the Leopard 2s are very forgiving. They have great firepower, good mobility, excellent protection, and to top it off, you have very good optics that make for a very fantastic vehicle. Now, seeing that this vehicle is pretty much a Leopard 2A4 that's been souped up quite a bit, I can understand why it would want to be at 10.3 rather than 10.7. But again, it's something that I really don't mind seeing at 10.7, seeing that it has the same capabilities that you would find with the Leopard 2A5 with some notable weaknesses. And seeing that this is not an official tech tree vehicle, I can understand some of the weaknesses that might come while playing with this vehicle. meaning the upper front plate is something that's very simple to, I guess, counter with Leopard 2A5s and 2A6s. It's going to be more so in this vehicle. Because again, this is nothing more than a souped up Leopard 2A4. I'm sorry if I'm going round and round, guys, okay? I just got done with about a 2.5 hour stream, kind of showcasing the dev server, so I'm a little cooked right now, so bear with me, okay? So moving forward with the actual vehicle itself, let's take a look at the protection analysis, excuse me. So if we take a look at probably one of the more common shells from, say, Russia, let's pull out the, here we go, the 3BM42 Mango round. So if we take a look at that really quick, you can see that the upper front plate, even at an angle, is very susceptible to this APFSDS. But if we go ahead and take a look at the turret face itself, you can see right here that it's going to have more or less a difficult time going through a lot of the turret face, especially right here. Look at that. 1,100 millimeters of protection. The other side, pretty much the same until you reach the turret area, which is a little wonky in my opinion. But if you take a look at the lower neck area, which is generally where you want to go ahead and engage this vehicle, is about right there. You can definitely see that it's going to go through without any sort of issue, knocking out some critical components. Another area too that's very good if you want to knock out the immediate firepower of this vehicle is the actual gunner and the commander themselves right behind the optics, which is very lightly protected. The ammunition is going to be a tough one right here to engage, which is standard APFSDS. So maybe HE rounds at the top up here might do the trick, but for the most part, the biggest thing you want to do is knock out that turret face or knock out that gun in the way right here where the breach is just massive. But again, only time will tell how reliable this breach is, and I do not fully expect it to be incredibly reliable. So, all in all, the Leopard 2PL is a fine addition into Germany's top tier lineups. However, I personally would have liked to have seen much of that effort go into, say, the Martyr or even the Puma and maybe even the Weasel at that point, oddly enough. But the Leopard 2PL, as it currently stands, again, is a very good addition to Germany's top tier lineup because it fleshes it out quite a bit. And it makes it so that there's a little bit more diversity with the German lineup, much like you would find with the Russians. I mean, come on. You have, what, 8 tanks that fire the same round? Top tier round, that is. I think the Germans kind of deserve theirs for the time being. Maybe the Americans can be next. I mean, more Abrams, I guess. So, that's just my opinion. So, with all that being said, I want to know what you guys think. Is this a vehicle you will be grinding for? Is it only going to get better? Perhaps you think it'll get worse. Feel free to let me know down in the comment section below, guys. And while you're down there, feel free to check out my Discord link. Feel free to jump on in and check out, say, the update discussion section, and maybe even tag me with your opinion, assuming you don't want to drop a comment down below. Besides, Discord is awesome. Great community, guys. I highly recommend you guys go ahead and check that out if you would so choose to. Now, with all that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this more or less talking head video that I rarely do. And I look forward to seeing you guys not only in the next videos or even the streams, but in War Thunder itself. Until next time.